There comes a moment in every legend's life when the stadium is still full, the lights are still shining, the crowd is still chanting their name. But deep inside, they know the story is reaching its final chapter. For nearly a quarter of a century, one man refused to slow down.
Sempre foi assim, não vai mudar. Eu estou sempre de corpo e alma para ajudar a seleção a alcançar os seus objetivos. É o último. Bem, 23 anos que vocês tentam me matar. Mas isso já perceberam. A mensagem para os portugueses é sempre... É os que estão em Portugal e os que estão cá, esses são fiéis. Esses não fazem. Terminarei, como disse há uns anos atrás, quando eu quiser, não quando vocês quiserem.
He conquered England, he ruled Spain, he made history in Italy, he inspired millions in Portugal, and no matter where he played, one chant echoed around the world: Ronaldo, Ronaldo, Ronaldo. But now, football fans everywhere are asking the same heartbreaking question. Have we already witnessed Cristiano Ronaldo's final World Cup journey? Because sometimes, legends don't disappear overnight. They simply leave behind memories that never fade. And what Ronaldo said after his final World Cup appearance wasn't just emotional. For millions of fans, it felt like the closing words of an unforgettable era. Stay with me until the end, because this isn't just the story of Cristiano Ronaldo. It's the story of every football fan who grew up watching greatness. Before we continue, if Cristiano Ronaldo inspired even one moment of your football journey, take 1 second to hit subscribe. And in the comments, tell me one word that describes Ronaldo: GOAT, legend, warrior, or simply unforgettable. Now, let's go back to where this incredible journey truly began. Long before the Ballon d'Or trophies, before the Champions League nights, before the world knew his name, Cristiano Ronaldo was simply a young boy from Madeira. He didn't grow up surrounded by luxury. There were no promises of greatness, no shortcuts, no guarantees. His family struggled financially. His father worked long hours. His mother sacrificed everything to keep the family together. Football wasn't entertainment. It was hope. Every afternoon, young Cristiano would spend countless hours chasing a ball through narrow streets, dreaming about stadiums he had never seen, dreaming about crowds that didn't yet exist. Most children dream. Very few are willing to sacrifice everything to make those dreams real. Cristiano was different. Even as a child, losing was unbearable. Friends remember how he would cry after defeats. Not because he was weak, but because even then, he believed he was destined for something greater. That obsession would become both his greatest strength and his greatest burden. At just 12 years old, Cristiano faced the hardest decision of his life. He left his family, he left his island, he left everything familiar behind. Imagine being only 12, living hundreds of miles away from your parents, in a place where almost nobody knew you. Many talented kids give up at this point. Cristiano didn't. Instead, he trained longer than everyone else, ran harder than everyone else, stayed after practice, worked when nobody was watching. Every extra sprint, every painful workout, every lonely evening was another small step toward history. People often celebrate the trophies. Very few remember the sacrifices made before anyone believed. Years later, those lonely nights would become the foundation of one of football's greatest careers. Then came the moment that changed everything. Sporting CP, an extraordinary teenager. Lightning speed, fearless confidence, skills nobody expected. It wasn't long before Europe's biggest clubs started paying attention. But there was one match, one unforgettable performance. That completely changed Cristiano Ronaldo's future. Manchester United played Sporting in a pre-season friendly. By the final whistle, United's own players couldn't stop talking about one teenager. Legend says they were asking Sir Alex Ferguson the same question: can we sign him? Soon, one of football's greatest managers made his decision. Cristiano Ronaldo was coming to England. It wasn't just another transfer. It was the beginning of history. At Manchester United, Cristiano arrived with unbelievable talent. But talent alone wasn't enough. Sir Alex Ferguson transformed him. He challenged him, demanded more from him, turned raw ability into relentless excellence. Every season, Cristiano became faster, stronger, more clinical, more unstoppable. He wasn't trying to become one of the best. He wanted to become the best. Training sessions became legendary. Teammates spoke about his discipline, his diet, his recovery, his endless desire to improve. When everyone else went home, Cristiano often stayed, because while others celebrated success, he was already preparing for tomorrow. That mentality separated him from almost everyone who ever played the game, and before long, the football world realized a global superstar had arrived, but astonishingly, his greatest chapters were still ahead. When Cristiano Ronaldo arrived at Real Madrid, expectations were already impossible. The world expected goals. The world expected trophies. But nobody expected what came next. Season after season, he shattered records that many believed would never be broken. Hat tricks became routine. Impossible free kicks became unforgettable memories. Champions League nights seemed to belong to one man. Whenever Real Madrid needed a hero, Cristiano Ronaldo answered. Pressure never pushed him away, it pulled him closer. The bigger the stage, the brighter he seemed to shine. Critics questioned him. He answered with goals. Doubters laughed. He answered with trophies. Every season brought another record, another milestone, another reminder that football was witnessing one of the greatest competitors in sporting history. But for Cristiano, there was still one dream that mattered more than any club trophy: winning with Portugal. For years, Portugal carried enormous expectations, and so did their captain. Every international tournament came with the same question: can Ronaldo finally lead Portugal to glory? There were painful exits, cruel defeats, moments when it felt like the dream would never become reality. Yet Cristiano never stopped believing. Then came 2016, the UEFA European Championship. In the final against France, Ronaldo suffered an early injury and was forced off the pitch. Many thought Portugal's hopes had disappeared with him, but from the sidelines, he became another coach. Every shout, every gesture, every ounce of belief pushed his teammates forward. When the final whistle blew, Portugal were champions of Europe. Cristiano Ronaldo collapsed in tears, not because he had scored the winning goal, but because the dream he had chased for so many years had finally become real. It was proof that greatness isn't only measured by what you do with the ball. Sometimes, it's measured by the belief you inspire in everyone around you. Every football career eventually reaches a moment no player can escape: time. No amount of discipline, no amount of hard work, no amount of determination can stop it forever. Cristiano Ronaldo entered what many believed could be his final FIFA World Cup. Millions watched every match knowing they might be witnessing history for the last time. Every touch of the ball felt different. Every celebration felt more meaningful. Every walk onto the pitch carried the weight of an incredible career. When Portugal's journey ended, the cameras captured something football fans will never forget. Cristiano Ronaldo walking down the tunnel, alone, emotional, silent. There were no dramatic speeches, no theatrical farewell, just a man who had given everything to the game, a man who knew exactly how much football had meant to his life. That image spoke louder than any words ever could. Later, Ronaldo shared a message that reflected on his World Cup journey. He spoke about fighting for the dream, about giving everything he had, about never losing belief. It wasn't a message filled with anger. It wasn't about excuses. It was about gratitude, about pride, about knowing he had left everything on the pitch. That is why millions connected with it, because every football fan understands what it means to chase a dream. Not every dream ends the way we imagine, but giving everything you have. That is something nobody can ever take away. Maybe those weren't the final words of his football career, but for many supporters, they felt like the closing lines of one unforgettable World Cup story. Children across the world copied his celebration. They wore the number 7. They dreamed because Cristiano Ronaldo proved that dreams could become reality. His story was never just about talent. It was about discipline, sacrifice, consistency, the decision to keep going when others would stop. Whether you supported Manchester United, Real Madrid, Juventus, Al Nassr, Portugal, or even cheered for his biggest rivals. One thing became impossible to deny. Cristiano Ronaldo changed football forever. Records will eventually be broken. New stars will rise. Future generations will create their own legends. But there will only ever be one Cristiano Ronaldo. One player whose name became known in every corner of the football world. One player who inspired millions to believe that impossible goals could become possible. Ending own day. The final whistle really will blow on Cristiano Ronaldo's extraordinary career. When that moment arrives, football won't just lose one of its greatest players. It will say goodbye to an era that inspired generations. Years from now, fans won't only remember the goals, they'll remember the moments, the passion, the celebrations, the impossible comebacks, the nights when one player made millions believe that anything could happen. And perhaps that is the greatest legacy any footballer could ever leave behind. Because legends don't disappear, they live on. Every time a child kicks a football for the very first time. Every time someone shouts, "See you!" And every time the world remembers the name, Cristiano Ronaldo. If Ronaldo has ever inspired you, leave A in the comments. Tell us your favorite Cristiano Ronaldo moment, whether it was a goal, a match, or a memory you'll never forget. If you enjoyed this documentary, subscribe for more stories about football's greatest legends, because while players may leave the pitch,